One of the things that we've been talking about is how the political discourse has coarsened under Donald Trump. But the roots of this actually predate Trump by quite a bit. Yeah, Trump is the anti-intellectual president. He's coalesced one of the least educated and most uninformed elements of the electorate for his benefit. But that was already starting to happen under George W. Bush. Decrying education as liberal indoctrination has gone back for a while. Republicans have known for a long time that when people learn critical thinking and epistemology, they are way less likely to vote Republican. So they've rooted out those subjects from public school curricula in many states where they've taken control of the boards of education. But there's an element of this that goes beyond simply anti-intellectualism, which is that trolling has become considered legitimate political discourse. Yes, xenophobic talking points are considered political discourse under Trump. Yes, the stuff that people like Ben Shapiro and Charlie Cork do at college is considered political discourse now. But straight up trolling is also considered political discourse now. So trolling, just so we can define it, trolling is deliberately posting or saying the most inflammatory, extraneous, or off-topic thing that you can in a discussion. So rather than participating in the discussion in good faith, you're effectively derailing the conversation, sowing discord, trying to cause disagreements or arguments, or even just getting people to give up participating in the conversation altogether. And there's a really good piece in Wired by Jonathan Albright who says, trolling is now considered mainstream political discourse. The Overton window of acceptable behavior in political conversations and discourse has been widened to include, as if it were legitimate, overt trolling. There's a really good study of social media messages, which finds that over time, more and more, the messages posted about political issues and about candidates are messages that are sort of a mix of hate speech, harassment, amplifying unproven rumors and conspiracies, spreading fake news, swarming and dogpiling people, and just direct attacks, character assassinations, and insults. The number of comments about politics that are meant to inspire action, like voting or activism, contacting elected officials, those are diminishing more and more. Now, this is true on the left and right. We don't have to argue in what proportion. The right is much more a purveyor of fake news, much more a purveyor of conspiracy theories. There's no question about that. The trolling is mixed, but we don't have to debate who does it more because it hurts the left more. That's the reality. The right wins when fewer people vote. The right wins when fewer people are engaged. If more and more of the discussion is the type that makes people like voting is pointless, like their voice is irrelevant, that they become frustrated and they bail out, the right wins. When the algorithms and the filter bubbles keep people in their own circles, except for vicious attacks and hate speech and insults, so that people do nothing instead of be active. So they watch Netflix instead of be politically active. The oligarchs and the billionaire class get their way because others are bailing out. That's why I say we're at a disadvantage. We want to do things and they want to keep things the same. We want to do things. They want no one to get involved so that they can basically maintain the status quo while perpetuating the inequality cycles that we've been seeing. By creating gridlock and despair and apathy, they win. So we have to overcome that and we have to do stuff. And this is one of the ways in which the Trump era will have destructive effects well beyond his presidency, however long it ends up lasting. Earlier, we dealt with some of the other ways that Donald Trump is going to have a destructive effect on the United States well beyond his presidency. This is one of those ways, and it is that trolling and all sorts of other horrible stuff are actually considered political discourse and a way to discuss political issues and figure out who we want to vote for. That is extraordinarily destructive. And one of the great insulators against this, there are many, but one of the great insulators against this is a more educated population, a population who understands critical thinking and epistemology, as we talked about yesterday in that segment, interviewing a group of uneducated, white, swing state female voters. Go back and check that one out if you missed it.